Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came battling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
All right, everyone, this is the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast 5050, and I have, hit 50 finally. The big 50. So I have Jesse, who honestly, just like Ryan and Kyle, pretty much should be just co-hosts at this point in time. But I got Jesse on the redneck. Jesse had a very good deer season, and I'm going to let him recap it. And I'm just happy we got the podcast going again. Get to talk to my friends, family, and team members. And then hopefully get on some other guests. But yeah, I'm gonna let Jesse go. Jesse, even give a quick introduction to yourself, just if people don't know you, and take it from there.
Hey everybody, it's Jesse, the redneck from Thin Blue Line Outdoors. You guys have, if you've been following the channel, probably from its start, you've at least heard or seen me. Some good, some bad, some near deaths, a lot of laughs, especially when Ryan almost died hanging up the newsstand this year. That was kind of funny. A little bit about me. I'm an elementary school principal here in Central Illinois. I have 3 kids, a beautiful wife. So a lot of my time is spent with my family. And, if you ask my wife, she doesn't think it's a well balance between work and life and hunting. I think it's a good balance between hunting, family, and work. But I enjoy what I do. I enjoy hanging out with the fam. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. But I really do love hunting. And so I picked it up later in life, as you guys have heard through multiple podcasts. I'm not going down that road. I'd still call myself an intermediate. I'm not necessarily a beginner anymore, but I'm not a pro either. So yeah, with all that, was going to go jump right into this deer season, talking about that family and family balance. And I caught a lot of shit from the guys this year for missing opening weekend. And the reason I was missing opening weekend is probably why I caught the most shit. I was at a Disney Junior Live event in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, the event was pretty cool. All right, you had Spidey and his amazing friends jumping all around. You had your puppy dog pals going back and forth. But unfortunately, there were no bows and arrows involved in that adventure. No deer stands, nothing quite like that. And they always tell me, they go, Jesse, you know opening day is October 1st every year. Why would you schedule something on that? And I like to think either A, I just blacked out and said yes to it and forgot about it, or B, she trapped me. She asked me what I would do. And I just didn't think about it. I said, oh yeah, sure. And then she already bought the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
However, it was a good time with the family. It was fun. And I mean, if you guys are anything like Ryan and myself, I was living vicariously through them, getting all their stories anyway. Them texting me updates about what's going on, what's happening. And when Ryan got his doe down, opening morning, that was just awesome. Super pumped, super excited. I was driving up to Wisconsin, I think, and Emily was reading my text messages for me. I told her to reply, you say this is what you say, this is awesome. But I'll admit, too, getting those text messages, I really was like starting to get uncomfortable and like I need to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So then that following weekend was my first weekend out. I think it was October 9th. It was a Sunday because I had a 3-day weekend through school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went out down to the Mercer County farm by myself. It was hot, man. It was super hot. And actually, Ryan went the Friday before I did, and he saw 3 does. He saw a mama and 2 young ones.
Yeah, could have shot him.
We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He could have shot him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He could have. They were right underneath the stand where he hung. He was right underneath it, but he didn't. Ryan could have got a lot of deer this year, and he just passed him up. Which is, he's growing.
He is.
For you, Ryan.
He is.
That's a good. You're starting to grow as a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But that Sunday morning, I went to that newsstand where Ryan saw him, and I mean I didn't see anything all day. It was starting to get really hot. Well, I take that back. I saw a couple raccoons, which was always fun. He had that question: "Am I gonna do it?" Nah, I won't do it. Am I gonna? No, I won't. And then I had a couple new cell cams to hang up around the property, so I did that. Um, then I had the debate with Boom and Ryan. Where do I hunt that afternoon? And Boom just automatically said the pipe stand.
It's a gut feeling.
So we
That's
have
what
a
it
stand
was.
out there that's. Huh?
For some reason, my gut was telling me pipe stand. Really, that's the best way I could describe it. I didn't really have logic behind it. I'm like, my gut's telling me the pipe stand.
It worked out, man. And we call it the pipe stand because it's literally made out of old plumbing pipe, not PVC, like old galvanized pipe. I found it on Facebook Marketplace for like $50. It's a nice little stand. Anyway, so went in town, got lunch, came back out. It was super, super hot. Youth season. So I'm wearing bright orange, talking to the farmer's kid of where I'm going to be, just to make sure I don't get shot at. And I just had this feeling that if I was going to see anything, it was going to be last light. Anytime I'm by myself hunting on that farm and I get one, it's always last light. The night before, that Saturday, I got cell cam pics of that mama and the two kids Ryan saw probably Friday coming down by that pipe stand. Right as the last 30 minutes was able to shoot. And I was like, and I had patterned them before that. They were every other day or every 3 days. So I was like, well, shit, here goes that opportunity. They're not going to come back. Well, my surprise, I looked up and then there's one kid and coming down the hill, and then there's mama, then there's the other yearling right behind her. But I hadn't seen shit all day. I moved really quickly. The first one spotted me, like instantly. I wasn't able to even get my bow back, or even off the hook. Stopped and looked, and then we had a stare off for what felt like a minute, and she kept going forward. So then mama and everybody else kept going forward. Finally got my bow in hand. Definitely saw me move, stomped at me, wheezed at me. All right, and then jumped back over this creek bed. Mama followed, and they ran, and they didn't like go all the way away, so I didn't like bust them. But they stood on the opposite side of the creek bed where I have no shot, and they're just staring at me. Well, the dummy in the back didn't see me and didn't really care what they did, so he's just coming down in the creek bed still, minding his own business, had no clue that I'm there. So I'm still like on alert, waiting for him to pop out. Well, the mom comes like, so here's in front of me is the little guy. Mama takes this other path around where, and this is all in that episode, that vlog. You can't hear, but you see her come in off of my right. Right. So she walked probably just in front of my trail camera and came right in front of me. Well, she starts noticing something's wrong and something's up and kind of looking up towards me. And I'm like, God, this isn't gonna. When I first ran, I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Until that little guy kept coming. I was like, okay, well maybe I'm the button buck slayer. I'll just get this little button buck and be good.
Yep.
To the name, right? But then she circled back around, and I've had people comment on the video or on the TikTok of it. It was like that I drew back too soon, and it was a really long drawback. It was a very long drawback, but what I was hoping for was, and you could see it in the video, she came broadside, like right here, and she stopped behind a bush. When she kept walking, there was going to be an opening. Well, she kept walking, and I was hoping she would stop in that opening. So when she went head down behind the bush, that's when I pulled back, and then she put her head up and she kept walking. I was like, okay, she's going to stop. Well, she just didn't stop. At that point in time, she did know what was up, and I wasn't going to let go of my draw because she would have ran. After that, Stomp Wheeze did the whole song and dance for me. Then she took off, and I thought she was gone. You could see me, I'm like trying to go with my bow, like almost like you're clearing a room with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That was gonna work.
Yep.
But she like jumped like almost back and forth. It seemed like, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna happen. Then it was just her ass was right at me, and that was it. And that didn't give me a shot. And then finally, she gave me like one more like, screw you, I'm out of here. Blow, and it started trotting. Well, then she went quartering away from me when she did that, and that was my opportunity.
Smoked her.
When she was quartering away, and she stopped, smoked her. She ran. Her little dude ran right at me, and then to the left, the other little one just took off like a rocket. Never saw that deer again. So I thought maybe too far back of the hit, because when I saw her, I saw what would be the entry wound, right, kind of closer to the back hip. So I went ahead and knocked her the arrow, but then she fell. Like she went literally 10 yards from me, and that's the best feeling of seeing them fall.
Yeah, you can see your reaction on the video, like a little bit delayed, and then as soon as you saw her down, you know, yes, like it was great. And I know you were pulled back. I don't remember. I timed it. I don't remember how long. It was over a minute. I know. Which, if anybody has pulled back on a deer with a bow, yeah, it's when you're pulled back a minute or more on a deer, it's tough. I don't care what poundage you're doing. Like, you got the adrenaline, you got, you got the weight pulled back. It's tough.
Yeah. So then after Mama went down, this isn't like seen in the vlog, but after Mama went down, that little guy that essentially is the reason why his mom went away, he came back within 7 yards broadside of me. And I was drawn back on him. I won't lie. I was drawn back because in my head, I thought, how cool would it be to double up on like the same day, but then also within 3 minutes of each other. But then I just said, no, like he's too small.
You made the right call.
He needs to grow. Huh?
You made the right call, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done. This will be plenty of meat for me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I instantly had the thought like, oh, it could be done. It could totally be done.
Yep.
But no. So that was my first day out. It was successful. It was fun. It was great. I was giddy, all tied up, that I just smoked that doe. It's my first mature doe ever. First quartering away shot ever. First self-recorded kill ever, right? A lot of firsts on that one.
Yep, and that's actually one thing I want to talk about a little bit, interrupt Jesse. Jesse's gotten some good videos that I've published when he was using my cameras and his little handy cam he had, or a little GoPro. But this year he upgraded cameras, which is way better quality, and he had really good video, especially with that doe. Like you definitely, I thought this year took a step forward in the filming part of it. You were already doing a really good job on your shots when it comes to bow and stuff. Yeah, you have a couple mishaps, but I had a couple mishaps. We all have a couple mishaps when it comes. It's called hunting for a reason. Not killing. But when it comes to videotaping, I thought this year you really took a step forward. Which we talk about. We got a.
And that was one of my goals. That was one of my goals for this year was, when I invested in that camera, I was like, okay, there's no excuses now. Like the old knockoff GoPro I had, there were some times where I tried and I was like, this thing's not doing it.
Yeah.
Besides that one deer, unicorn, but that was with your camera, wasn't it? We saw that. Yeah.
No, I don't remember. No, you had my camera, but you had my camera, but we didn't. You didn't get. I don't think you had time to turn that one on because it came in so quick.
Right, but with the new equipment, I was like, okay, well now there's no excuse. It's time to, get after it and start like working on this and improving it. So yeah, that was one of my focuses as I went out this year, and plus I think I went out more times this year by myself than I have in years past. right? So, if you're kind of hunting someone in the property, you're definitely keeping in contact
Mm-hmm.
pretty consistently. Um, so I think that kind of sometimes takes away from my filming when I'm more, hey, you seeing anything? No. Are
Mm-hmm.
you out? Boom. No. Okay. If it's just me out, then that's it. I could really
Mm-hmm.
focus on that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So yeah, day one out, fantastic, great hunt, successful hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I was, but I was so more excited for day two hunting for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I took Marshall out that next Sunday or the Monday morning. We went over to Boom's
Mm-hmm.
property, hunted in a pop-up blind on a little platform, and just had a ball. I had an absolute blast. Hey, Marshall's gonna be the little cameraman. He was interviewing me that whole time
Yep.
out there.
Yep.
Um, and then, yeah, he enjoyed it. We weren't out there too terribly long,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he keeps asking me to go out, and then Walter keeps asking me to go out.
Starting them
We
young.
actually came home. Yeah, I know. We came home. I think it was last Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to watch Daddy's hunting videos. They said so. We started putting up in Blue Line Outdoors, and they're just watching it,
Which
like
made my
asking me
night,
all these
man.
questions about what's going
When
on.
you sent us that, when you sent that picture to Ryan and I, that made my night. I'm like, right there is why we do it. That made it worth it right there.
Oh, it was amazing, and I didn't. And some people say, "Oh, you're staging that, or you're pushing that." And I swear to you, you can ask my wife. I just walk in, they go, "We want to watch your hunting videos." Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we could do that.
Yep. Yep.
And so, yeah, just growing the love for them is going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm ready to get him out more.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we Marshall and I didn't see anything. We just had a really really fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about a month before I went back out.
November, right? Wasn't until November again.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, November 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And I was debating taking. I took a day. I took 2 days off of work this year to go hunting. I don't usually do that. Usually it's just a 1 day a year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but this year I felt like I could use a little rutcation, just a little mini one.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a day. I went down there by myself, just to hunt the morning. I didn't even hunt the afternoon. I had to put up a blind anyway for shotgun season coming up. And so I'm in a blind chair, and we're having some hits off of the camera from the blind spot from the time I put it up on October 9th till then.
Mm-hmm.
And all the pictures. So I guess to describe, when you're sitting down in the blind spot, we call it, you're on the back of the property, and there's a hill up to your left that leads up to another stand, but it's a big hill, and then to your right is flatter. That kind of now you're in the middle of the ravine,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a creek bed there,
Mm-hmm.
and in between you and the creek running behind you is a little layer of brush, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I get out there in plenty of time to park the wheeler, walk the distance, so I'm not like putting the wheeler right where I need to be. I walk out there, get my blind chair set up, and I'm like, all right. And as it gets a little bit lighter out, first I'm in this kind of rosy, thorny patch that like I'm covered. I know I'm covered when I sit down. Anything to the right of me or in front of me, they're not going to catch me, man. They won't see me. But as it got a little lighter out, I noticed the cover I thought I had on my left, I didn't have. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, let me remind you, all the evidence. And I was like, when I first moved dark, it's like, this is the spot. This is where it's going to happen. All the evidence of the camera, though, told me everything's coming left to right.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have, what the evidence had, they would see me, and I wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So go against my first choice, and I move. So now where I am covered on my left,
Mm-hmm.
but I am pretty exposed on my right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and where be able to still see and get a shot off on this spot, you're going to have an opening somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I can just tuck all the way back in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting in this blind chair. It's getting colder. This is when the big cold front come in, and the storm, the rain, and the wind on the 5th. But anyway, so there's about 8, and I'm doing my scanning, And no lies, I'm scanning here, and I come to the right. Just a freaking monster, dude. Just a monster. And I think it was a monster 8, and he was tall. I mean, just so tall, and he's just staring at me. I mean, he's looking directly at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I instantly going, you freeze, because I don't want to arrow. You're like, don't
Yep.
move, don't move.
Yep.
So I'm not moving one bit. He's staring me down. He kind of like puts his head down and slowly starts looking. He's sniffing the ground. I just reach. Like, I don't even like, I'm sitting like I am now, and I'm reaching like this. Like, you can't see. You
Yep.
would have been able to see my hand. I just reached down from my bow that's right here.
Yep.
And me doing that, he poked his head right back up, looked and stared right at me again. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
And he didn't run, though. That was the thing. He didn't run away.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned right back around and walked. And so
Out of your
I
life.
quickly, well, yeah, because I quickly stood up. I pulled back on my bow, but he was walking. And by the time I got to that point, he wasn't stopping, number one. Number two, he was slightly quartering away, if not just his butt straight onto me. That wasn't going to happen.
Yep.
Number three, he's like 50 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not my range, and that's not a good shot. But, oh my God.
It hurts every time,
Remember
man.
that deer, like one of the first times you ever took me?
Yep.
You remember the deer you took when, like, the first time went out and, like, that was the biggest deer I've ever seen live?
Yep.
This deer beat that deer.
Which that deer, just to give people judgment, the deer Jesse is talking about when he was with me was about 130. So that means this buck was the Jesse's talking about now is bigger than a 130 buck. So probably 140, 150 would be my guess. Just a solid good buck.
And I think that we saw him the next morning going out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know if Ryan was telling you about this yet or not, but so I'll finish the fourth. So that deer went out of my life forever.
Yep.
Right. Then I ended up. I did see a huge group of hens, and they got close, but I just couldn't get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
They kept bouncing all around, man. And they would always like I was drawn back one time because they were approaching to come right in the opening. It is something probably made me spook them and they just left. Gobbled all the way and went the opposite way. But it is what it is.
Yep.
It would have been fun to get a turkey on the bow, but
Yep.
So then Ryan and I had the Saturday and Sunday plan to hunt. So we went out Saturday. We were hunting the blind because it's pissing down rain. The wind's terrible. And we weren't going to get in our stands, right? So we're going out. We're going up this hill, and we had the 4-wheeler now, and it's 100 yards from where we camp. And I'm like, Ryan, stop! And no lie, at the top of this hill is that deer, and he's just like puffed up, head up. He has, and it was kind of weird because it was almost like a bachelor group going.
Mm-hmm.
There was another little buck with them, probably, I don't know if it was a doe or not, but there was another deer with them too.
That's weird.
And so we're kind of like, well, what do we do? What's going on? What do we do? Well, at that point in time, when we stopped and they stared, they kind of just started walking away. And so when we couldn't see them anymore, we went up. And then when we went up and turned, there they are right at the top of the hill, just a little further back looking at us. And at that point in time, there was like 2 more deer joined them. I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot of deer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, we can't shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not legal light.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how badly you wanted to, you can't do it.
Yep.
So he was a monster. But then they just ran. They just took off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we saw a deer the rest of the day. And we hunted all day.
Mm-hmm.
And that Saturday was pretty boring just in the stand. But it was always fun hunting with Ryan.
Yep.
That was another thing on my goal. Him and I haven't deer hunted together in a long time.
Yeah, you guys didn't get to the year before, right?
Right. We didn't.
Yep.
So then Sunday happened. Sunday was a fun day.
Yeah, it was. I was enjoying just getting the text messages.
Sunday morning. Well, it's funny because I was talking to Ryan the night before, and I think I was even talking to you. Like, we could kind of sense the rut was picking up. Things were kind of moving because, we did see deer. I'm sorry, Ryan saw a couple of deer that Saturday morning, but I never saw them on the other side of the fence. I guess I did see the doe run. Anyway, not important. I was like, hey, I've never actually seen like a buck go chasing a doe or anything like that. You know what I mean? And by golly, I saw it that day. Just on the neighbor's property, not our property.
Yep.
A decent sized buck. It wasn't the tall guy that I saw Friday morning, but probably 130, 120. I'd have to guess. Was chasing a doe out of some woods into the corn, and then it was funny because you saw that big guy chasing her, and then a minute later I see this spike running across the field after. I'm like, good luck, bud. You're not gonna make a spike, man. So I'm texting all this, happen. I'm getting a text message. My superintendent, he just grunted one in and just dropped one. I'm like, oh, nice. So I'm out there. I'm spraying that rat getters. I think it's Climax that I was using out there.
Shout out.
Just
Shout
some
out.
new scent out there, Shout out to rat getters. Thank you. I'm 95, 100% sure you helped me get this buck. And so spraying out there, threw a couple calls out. I was going to rattle, but I dropped my rattling antler. I was very dropsy that day. It was insane. I dropped one of my rattling antlers. And then, so I'll tell you what else I dropped here. It was terrible. But at that point in time, I'm doing my scanning. It's about time for a little coffee. So I'm turning to look into my bag, and because I like to turn and make sure there's nothing over there before I do it, right? And so I turn, and there's my little 5-pointer. And he's a 5-pointer because one little guy got knocked off. And so, oh shit, here we go. And he doesn't even I don't even know if he sees me. He just noses to the ground. So I quickly, and I'll admit, I think I rushed the first shot. Grabbed my bow, shot, hit him. It was a low hit, right? And I could tell it was low when I first saw it. But then he just turned around, and this is the first time I've ever seen a deer do this. He went, and he was 10 yards in front of me, and he's just staring at me. And I'm like, well, this is kind of fucking weird, right? Pardon my language, sorry guys.
You're good.
But
You're good.
This is weird. And looking at him, he's got spit coming out, and then I look, and there's just blood pouring out of his chest, just and I could see what it looked like to me was if somebody just took a scalpel and opened him up down your sternum, right down the sternum. But what really was is I hit so low, it just went clear through the belly essentially, and that's where he's bleeding out of. But it gave me time.
Yeah. When you gutted him, did the first shot hit anything vital that you're aware of?
My first shot, it went in and out of the stomach. I don't even think it would have been a bad enough stomach hit. He would have bled out. That deer would have died.
He was bleeding. I mean, just the video.
No vitals were hit.
Yeah, the video, and I'll play some here in the podcast on the video version. He was just pouring there. You could just see the blood just pouring out of him.
Yeah. And I was he stood there and that happened for 2 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this deer going to die? Or is it going to come get me? Maybe it's one of them new zombie deer. I don't know if you heard about them or not. But, so thankfully, though, it gave me a chance to knock another arrow. And you probably see it in the video. I'm just shaking so bad. Because, A, you have that adrenaline. You just shot a deer. This is awesome. B, I'm trying to run through everything in my head. What's the next best thing to do as he's sitting there bleeding out in front of me? And then C, just shaking. I'm hoping he gives me another shot. But it also gives me a chance to work with the camera. And this is where I did make a rookie mistake with the camera. I should have stayed zoomed out. If I would have stayed zoomed out on my camera, you would have seen the final shot. Right? but I zoomed in to get the blood and to get kind of what the deer was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the shot, you see the back legs jump, but you don't actually see the whole picture.
Just the deer just took a couple steps off frame. If the deer didn't do that, or if he was zoomed out just a little bit more, it would have caught it. But I've been there, I've done it. It happens.
Yeah. So eventually, man, he presented me with another opportunity, turned to walk away, and he stopped. And man, I'll tell you what, that second shot, I did not make a mistake, didn't rush it, whacked right through the Boilermaker, and he took off.
Mm-hmm.
He was gone. Tracked him 80 yards, found him. And it was a fun track too, because not only did I have the blood from the first hit, but also the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot to go by. It was an easy track,
Mm-hmm.
but still gave me experience enough to follow the trail, which is what I liked. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
It was a good, because not to toot my own horn, but most of the deer I've shot, I haven't had a track.
Yeah, that's true. And I've
dropped.
been with Jesse when he killed his first archery deer, and then I was there to help him with his big buck he got, and yeah, you watch him fall in front of you. So which is what I prefer, but it is good to get that experience tracking a deer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that every time. Yeah. And so once I find I'm on the trail, and I'm trying to text Ryan, all these guys, what's going on? It's hot. I was balled out doing this, and so I'm texting Ryan, and the plan was, he was like, all right, man, can you give me, so I tell him, hey, I shot a deer, and I'm like, I'm going to have to go get down and go find this thing. He goes, give me till 10. Give me 10. So that's fine. You can stay up till 10. I'm going the opposite way you are. Just, you're fine from where Ryan was hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm texting him updates, found blood, found arrow, and he's still texting, oh man, it's awesome. Great job. Congratulations. Text everybody, say, hey, found the deer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great job. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So then Ryan and I are texting. The plan was, I was going to drag him out to an open spot where we get the wheeler. Once I got to that spot, to text him, and he would come down. So dragged that deer out, got to the open spot. As I stop and take my break at the open spot, I got connected back to signal, and it's just Ryan and Boom freaking out, texting. Ryan's like, I got one down. I can't believe it. Doubling up. I can't believe he came right in, got one down, saw him drop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm freaking out, like super excited. Like, holy shit, we just got 2 bucks one day, like tiny acreage, little spot for hunting, in Lido. And I mean, all within half hour of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes back to Ryan's shotgun buck last year. He was getting ready to get down. Same thing this year. He was getting ready to get down with his archery buck.
He pulls it off at the end of the hunt. He does. He pulls it off somehow.
Just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I pretty much sprinted up that hill to meet him at his stand in the wheeler, go get his story, man. And just, it was awesome. First time hunting in a long time, both having success. Couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely couldn't believe it.
And that was definitely the peak of your season, because you guys don't have much to talk about after that, both of you.
No. Shotgun season didn't happen this year. Let's just say that.
Yep. Yeah. I felt a little bad during shotgun season, because I know you guys look forward to it so much, and I honestly, when it comes to shotgun season, I had one of the most action-packed seasons I've had shotgun hunting this year, and I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing this, my brother's seeing this, blah, 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 and you guys are like, we ain't seeing shit.
Crickets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, Ash keeps texting, like, Ash would keep telling us, like, man, they're passing up all.
All right, and we're back. You were saying Ash was saying we're passing up deer.
Yeah, Ash is like, man, these guys are sitting out here seeing all this, they're passing up deer. We haven't seen anything, because they were, like I said earlier, they've been out there for Monday morning on hunting, and like hunting hard.
Mm-hmm.
And they've seen deer. They had, I think, one opportunity to where like they got one that was within range, but that deer just stood behind a tree with its vitals, so they couldn't actually do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, cold. About lost my toes.
It was a cold season, man. It was a cold shotgun season.
And then didn't see anything. The one positive out of it was I left the Friday. I left early in the afternoon hunting. I went and watched my old high school win the 8-man state championship finals. That was cool.
That is cool.
That was fun. Got to see some buddies, see some old coaches. So that was one positive from shotgun season. And then after that, man, I've been living vicariously through Boom. I don't know if you guys know or not, but kind of shot a monster. So living vicariously through him means like I shot maybe 1/3 of that monster, which still may be one of my biggest deer ever. So
yeah, yep. I ended up good, luckily.
I got that message in Target, and I'm not the person like I hate the people who are on their phone when they're in the checkout line.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's trying to call me like, all right, man, like I'm in the checkout line. What's going on? We got to do this. But I also know Boom's calling me. Boom's hunting, and we just had a whole conversation about some mishaps beforehand. Like
yeah.
something big just happened.
Yep. Yep. And I said it in the last podcast, and I know I've said it before. It's the only thing I can explain is it was like meant to be. That's the only way I can describe about getting lucky and shooting that buck I've been chasing for 3 seasons. It was meant to be.
Dude, everything lined up because like again, if you wouldn't have,
I should have been killed out. I should have been bucked out for the season. Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you wouldn't have missed that one and realized my scope was off, like done. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, you'd have been done. You'd have been bucked
Yeah.
out. You'd have been happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
yeah. But I said to you guys before the season, if I could kill one deer all season, that was it. It'd be that buck. And
that was it.
Yep. So.
How many deer did you end up with total? 3?
3. Yep. 2 does. 1 with my bow. 1 with a shotgun, and then my big buck. So, so yeah, excited. And hope.
When does the season officially over?
This weekend.
13th?
This weekend.
Yeah.
I
about hit a deer tonight with my car. I saw probably 30 deer in field on my way home tonight. Like they're out right now.
Yep. I think I'm going to go out Saturday. I don't know. I don't have the freezer space, but I'm gonna figure it out if I get to shoot one. Just go to try to get a doe, and then Caleb is coming out to my farm. He's got the run run out to the whole farm the last day of season. He's coming out on Sunday, so that evening. So fair game. Anything that comes by, I'm gonna see what the wind is, and whatever the wind is, I'm gonna give him a couple stand options. Like, hey, I'd recommend these 2 stands or these 3 stands or whatever, and he can hunt whatever one he wants. Hopefully he has luck. We were so close last time, man. 10 yards, and not even that, 5 yards. We were so close, man. Caleb I've been hunting with, I think this is 3 deer seasons now, him and I have been hunting. Either 3 or 4. And he's yet to fling an arrow, and it's no fault to his own. He doesn't get to hunt very often. He gets to hunt even less than Jesse does. And he's been super close with Jesse. He's been super close with me. He just hasn't got a chance to fling an arrow yet. He did fling an arrow at yours, didn't he? I think he told me that. He flung an arrow at the Alito farm once.
Yeah, I think so.
But it was a miss.
Right.
But he's gotten so close, and I'm hoping we can get it together this last day for him. So we shall see. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That should be a goal of Thin Blue Line Outdoors for next year. Give Caleb a deer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would agree with that. We could make that. Put that on that. Speaking of that, perfect segue. So that's pretty much Jesse's season. And Ryan and I'm gonna have the rest of the team members kind of talk about what their goal is for 2023, hunting and personal goal. I've already talked about my goals about losing weight and getting in shape. And I might have something coming up from that here in a little bit. But then what the goals are for the brand with the merch, doing shows, getting partnerships, which might be some news coming here soon before this podcast comes out, hopefully. But anyway, Jesse, what is your hunting and personal goals for 2023?
Hunting would just be, I think, honestly, I was pretty efficient with my time this year when I went out,
I would agree.
and my success on those times. So if I could even keep it at, where I was, that'd be great. This year, I'm not going to be able to do shotgun season. I'll be going to that conference again with work. So I'd like to get out in the early season and in the rut, and then kind of see what happens after that. But if I could plan it right, like I did this year, I'll be honest, the October 9th one just fell in my lap. That was pure luck. Those deer shouldn't have been there because
early October, man, it's hot. You got to have some luck on your side if we don't have a cold front come through. And there was no cold front that weekend for you.
No. Now the November 4th weekend, that one was pretty well planned. There was a cold front coming in. We had that big rain and wind Saturday.
Plus the rut and yep.
I think Sunday was the kickoff of it all, man. It just some switch hit and then boom. It was like, let's get them down. So just, planning my time the way where I had the most opportunity. And to get Marshall out more. Like get him out at least twice next year.
You got a spot here waiting for him, so.
He loves it. He loves coming to play with Bluey and all the other goats and animals he got there.
Yep. We got a new baby.
The Johnson compound.
Yeah, we got a new baby. You want a pet goat? I'll just drop it off.
I'll take one of your chickens now that lays eggs.
They're worth their weight in gold right now, man.
Eggs are so expensive. Kind of leads it to my personal goal is, so I don't know, the past 2 years. So 2 years ago, Jesse was probably 280 pounds. I got down to I'm like at 220 now. The lowest I ever got was 200, but then I did all that from running and eating like just very small portions, very small salads every day, like a huge calorie deficit, right? And it's great. I lost the weight. I feel better. Like I could run an hour and be fine. Like I'm tired, obviously, but I could do that now, and I couldn't do that back then. But now I want to kind of change how my body looks from all of that. I guess they call it skinny fat, and that's what I would call myself. Is I lost all the weight, but I'm still like jiggly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I got away from the weights. I wasn't necessarily like eating the protein I should have been eating. It was more just looking at negative calories for the day. Yep. And a lot of them. So now my goal is to get rid of that, build my muscle back up, but still stay around the same weight, lower the body fat percentage. It's been tough. I've been on like a week now, and I didn't used to eat breakfast. And like I said, I would eat a little small Tupperware container salad and a cheese stick every day for lunch, and then come home and eat a little bit of dinner. Now I'm eating 3 eggs, some protein shakes, and a piece of toast in the morning for breakfast alone. And then my lunch has been like kind of a huge salad with a whole big can of that shredded chicken on it, some cheese sticks, some deer sticks, a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter here just to really try to hit my protein goal. And that part's tough. And don't get me wrong, I am a true fat kid at heart. I like to eat. I really do like to eat, but sometimes I'm like, oh man. So, but got a little weight set down now in the basement to help with that, and I'll give it the old college try for 10 weeks or so and see what I could see, what happens. And I told Boom and Ryan to let me go back to strictly running because it didn't do more damage than good, but it definitely took me back more than what I should have not run as much and done other workouts.
Your doctor in the end even said something to you about it, right?
Yeah, just
there. I don't know what happened.
And he's back.
I don't know what happened there. See, it's like I'm assuming we just lost signal briefly.
I think so.
Well, anyway, so yeah, too much running, not enough lifting.
Well, yeah, but now I do have a challenge coming up in April that I'm gonna have like a weekend or a couple, like 2 days to run the 5K, 10K, and 10 miles. I think it's in 2 days.
There you go.
Oh, that'll be fun. I mean, it's a Disney one. It's like a lot of cool Disney medals like Toy Story and Pixar and
Yep.
Monsters Inc. I think so. So I still have that goal for me.
There you go. That'd be good.
That's my personal goal. For I guess if you're looking at just like the health wise. Other than that, keep plugging away at the house, getting things done, and spending time with the boys and the wife.
Yeah, I'm like I've already told you, I'm really excited. Eventually, Jesse and I have been talking about this ever since. Honestly, he started having kids, and then once I started having kids. But it's gonna be great when we can actually, like, we love deer camp now when it's Jesse, Ryan, and I, and then Ash and stuff, and Caleb. We have a blast. But we look forward to the day where it's all about the kids coming to hunt, and we're being guides for them. It's gonna be a good time when that happens, and every year it gets closer and closer. So it'll be fun. And then let alone
Pushing me to go out.
Yep.
Marshall's pushing me to go out and shoot my bow already.
That a boy.
Let's practice out there.
That a boy. Yeah, we now are having warm weather, but if we actually get ice again, you have to bring him out and do some ice fishing.
Oh, he would love that. So would Walter. Walter loves fishing.
Yep. And if it's super cold and we can plan ahead, you just take a little pop-up tent like I have out here, and you put a little heater in it. So it keeps them out of the wind, a little heat.
There you go.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll be fun, man.
it's kind of.
What are you looking for as far as the?
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say and this I think you would kind of go in this direction too. Where would you like to see the brand grow this year in 2023 and really focus on? Because I've said this in the past, we have 13 team members, counting myself. A lot of us are in the law enforcement field. Well, almost all of us are public servants, like Jesse's a principal. And we're trying to grow the brand, and we love it. It's a passion and stuff. But just Jesse, Ryan, and Kyle, I'd say, probably put in the most effort besides me into the brand, in a lot of videos, and do some stuff behind the scenes. So I guess, Jesse, where do you kind of like to see the brand kind of go this year? What is happening? We keep losing connection. Where would you like to see the brand go this year, buddy?
I would like to see really get out there more publicly, like merchandise out more, and maybe spread it out more than Fulton County is pretty locked down, but kind of leak it out to other counties around you. And it would be cool. It would be very cool to do a couple shows or a show.
Yep.
I think my goal would be at least one show. I would like to go and be part of Timberlines at one show.
I can see the internet's kicking my butt today.
Just get the name out there.
Yep.
I know we continue to build partnerships, which is great. I want to keep doing that, building the brand that way. But I think just getting us out there and talking to people more, especially that mad British guy.
Yeah, he's a talker.
In front of a few more people.
Yep, I would agree with that.
So that's my goal.
Gotcha.
More publicity, more merch, and more shows.
Gotcha. What was your question for me before I interrupted you?
The same exact one you asked.
I was wondering. Kind of said it in the last podcast with Ryan. Yeah, the Thin Blue Line Outdoors goals this year is go to hopefully 3 shows. I keep losing Jesse here, but I know you guys can still hear me. Yeah, hopefully we'll go to at least 3 shows this year. I'm hoping to have Jesse, Ryan, and other team members at these shows. Really focus on merchandise. I almost have everything here. I have all the machinery here, but I almost have everything else here to do the shows. Really excited about that. And then I have a couple big hunts planned. hog hunt and bear hunt, and then obviously we'll be hitting the deer woods hard like we always do. So, yeah, that's pretty much the goal for the Thin Blue Line Outdoors. Jesse, before I lose you again on this internet, do you have anything else for the podcast?
Just like, subscribe, keep checking us out, guys. Keep following on the TikTok, Insta, all of it. All right. For those who have been following, thank you. Share it out, get it out there, because it is some really great stuff that you find out and see, and you'll learn a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, the internet's kicking my butt. I live out here in the boonies, so it is what it is. Jesse, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jesse?
Hello?
Yep. Hello. Hey, I'm going to end this podcast. Like I said, the internet's been crappy, but I'm going to give you a phone call after this. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this podcast. Sorry about the internet difficulties. Like I said, I live in the boonies. It is what it is. But Jesse, thanks for coming on. Everybody, like, subscribe, follow. We got some more content coming this year, and hopefully you see us at some shows. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the support.